Across the country, the company had 250,000 Indian soldiers serving alongside British troops. Billy has come to the barracks where Daniel Doyle was first stationed with the British Army in the 1850s.
I've gone quite tingly. Daniel Doyle, it's kind of weird walking in his footsteps. There's a definite spookiness. No, it's sort of woo, ghosty. Just, you feel that they're invisible, just standing, taking note of you. But it's a beautiful barracks, as barracks go, because normally I'm used to the British idea of barracks, which is grey. That sort of Aldershot, beigey grey. Sounds like a soul singer, doesn't it, beigey grey? But it's really quite colourful. I like that. The British usually accompany that order with a little scream. They go, ah! Ah!
To find out about Daniel's life as a soldier, Billy is meeting historian Dr. Rosie Llewellyn-Jones.
You see cannons here, I think.
They've come to the Wellington Gymkhana Club. Popular with the military, it dates back to the days of the British Empire.
I have his military record here.
Oh, great. Hollywood.
Ireland.
Oh, yeah. So there's the Irish connection. He's a labourer from the county of Wicklow. Was this when he joined?
Yes, that's right. In September 1856.
Daniel Doyle, aged 18 years, complexion sallow, eyes blue, hair brown.
And you can see he was quite a tall lad,
Yeah, 5'11 and a half. Must have been a tall guy.
Yes. And he went into the 3rd Battalion, 60th Rifles, and this got him out to India. For Daniel was the chance for adventure in an exotic country. Attractive possibilities.
Very attractive, yeah.
And we've got a couple of pictures of what it actually looked like.
Well, it looks the same as I was there this morning.
It's good, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
Daniel might have thought he was coming out to fight and life would be very lively and everything. He came out at an interesting time in the middle of the Great Rebellion, the Great Uprising of 1857. That was going on in the north of India.
Yes.
But because he's in the south, he didn't see any fighting.
In 1857, the tide was turning against the British in the north of the country. There was growing resentment among the Indian soldiers serving with the East India Company about the spread of Western culture and Christianity, which threatened their traditions and religion. Thousands of these formerly loyal Indian soldiers were now taking up arms against their colonial masters. To try to quash the rebellion, more troops were sent north. But the British still needed soldiers like Daniel Doyle to maintain a strong military presence in the south.
We can see that he volunteers for the Royal Artillery as a gunner, and he spends 3 years there and then moves up to the Royal Horse Artillery, which is really prestigious.
Well, that's great. So he must have been a pretty good gunner.
This is an elite corps, there's no doubt about that.
Well, that's an extraordinary picture.
Have a look at this.
With regard to the character and conduct, it would appear his conduct has been good, and he is in possession of 3 good conduct badges.
And he's promoted to corporal in 1863.
Yes. So Daniel's done quite well for himself with his good conduct medals. So he would have been quite happy, I think, here.
What we have got is a diary account by somebody who was actually in the Royal Horse Artillery at the same time.
Get up at 5 o'clock, roll up the blanket or bed. Any drills, parades, stables or fatigues are done by 9. From 9 until 4 in the afternoon, we're not allowed to leave the camp. If you could look in here now, you would see most of our men asleep. From 4 to 6 is set apart for drill. This, I think, concludes a day's work. Not a lot of work, wouldn't it? Everything is such a sameness. Everybody knows everybody, and we see each other so often we tire to look at each other. Oh, I can see it coming. Then there is so little variety in our duties that they become quite a bugbear. To bed at 9, up at 6, to bed at 9 again. Thus we drag our miserable existence. Miserable existence? I thought they were leading a rather jolly life.
Not really, because you've got to remember there's no fighting going on at the moment.
Yes.
So you can see boredom would drive them to all kinds of distractions. We do have some more information about him.
His name appears 16 times in the regimental defaulters book, and he has been held once by court-martial.
Tried.
Oh, he's been tried once, but that's quite serious.
Mm.
What do they do?
Unfortunately, we don't know.
What's the defaulters book?
It's sort of like a naughty book if you step...
Naughty step.
If you step out of line, your name goes down. But that could have been for fairly minor things.
Yeah.
Being drunk, being rude. Yes, exactly.
I can smell alcohol.
Oh, can you?
Yes. If you're 16 times in the defaulters book, I reckon you're a bit of a drunk. So has he been flung out?
No, not really. He just goes back to being a gunner again, but he's lost that, you know, that prestigious job, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why he's got himself in trouble, having gone from private to corporal. I mean, his next step is sergeant. And you would think he would behave himself. Oh, for shame, for shame. I think he'd be good fun by the sound of him.
Yes.
And what happened to him after that?
We find him in Bangalore in hospital in 1866.
Oh, really? I wonder what he went to hospital for. That's what I would like to know.